Hi there. Didn't see ya. You know, when people ask me for a good tip, I always say the key to escape is to communicate. But keep in mind, 40% of communication is nonverbal, meaning you'll have to use your eyes and ears to see and hear valuable information. So listen to each other and think about that. 40% of communication is nonverbal, and 80% of all statistics are made up on the spot.
So a big piece of advice I have is don't put things in your pockets, because chances are the reason you're putting it in your pocket to begin with is because you want to remember that you have this thing later that you're going to use. But also chances are you're going to forget that you put that thing in your pocket, and then you're probably going to walk out the door with it, and then we're going to be down one less prop. So don't put things in your pockets. Won't help you, won't help us.
Do make sure to explore your entire room, and if you happen to find things of interest, leave them out.
Make sure you have a designated area for everything you've already used. So have a place where you put any keys, any weird hints you might find, anything with code words written on them, any used locks even, and put them in the same place. That way you won't run into a situation where everyone's working on this new puzzle and then half of the rest of the group is grabbing all this stuff you've already used and it confuses everybody, and it's not good escaping.
When you're going through your room, make sure you search thoroughly, but don't make a mess. That means if there's costume pieces or like clothes or something, you don't need to take them all off and pile them. Chances are if you do that, you're going to cover up something that you need. So search thoroughly, but keep it clean.
One of the best hints I can give you is called the two-finger rule, and it's super simple. It's that if you touch something and try to move it with only 2 fingers, if it does not move, it was designed not to move. It's intentional.
And if you're working in a large group, don't focus on just one puzzle as a group. Split up. You might be able to get more done that way.
Look at everything. And when I mean look, I don't mean just kind of scan over things. Go for comprehension as opposed to just scanning, because too much I see people looking over everything and just going, that's a thing, that's a thing, that's a thing, that's a thing, but not actually comprehending what they're looking at and going, oh, that's a number I'm looking at, or oh, that's a picture of this that I'm looking at. It's just, that's a thing, that's a thing.
Remember what you're looking for. If you have a lock that requires numbers, you need numbers and you need an order for those numbers. So even if you don't know what you're looking for, you at least have some sort of starting point.
If you are reading and you feel like you're reading a whole bunch, you're probably reading too much and you don't need to. On the other hand, if there's something short and concise, you probably do need to read it. There's probably a reason it's there.
Don't hack locks. I understand that most people try to hack a lock to try and get past it super quickly, but what ends up happening is you end up disrupting the flow of the game itself, which then also can end up turning your team around and no one knows what's been used, why haven't these clues been used, and you'll end up actually costing your team way more time than you'll end up saving. So, don't hack locks.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Every single escape room that I've ever heard of has a built-in hint system for this very reason. If you're offered help or if you just need help, ask for it, especially if you feel like you're really getting stuck on something. Because a lot of the times the solution is something you've actually already thought of or you're already really close to, and you just need that slight nudge to get there. So there's no shame in asking for help.
Another good tip is to remember to use the restroom before you play the game. An hour can be a long time, especially if you've got to go to Tinkletown. We have 2 excellent restrooms here at Crossroads. Why don't you take a look? I think you'll enjoy them. Wash your hands, Jeffrey.
So I hear you like horror flicks. Well, so do I.